Hi, everyone. I'm Mia Jackson, and I need to share my story because no one should endure what I did. I'm 35 years old, a marketing manager at Reynolds & Co. On the surface, my life seemed perfect. Two amazing kids, Emma and Lucas, a thriving career, and what I thought was a solid marriage to Michael Thompson. But behind closed doors, there was another force at play, my mother-in-law, Patricia. Honey, I brought some homemade lasagna for the kids. The food you make is far too modern for growing children, Patricia announced, waltzing into my kitchen uninvited for the third time that week. Patricia, I appreciate it, but next time, please call first. Nonsense, I'm family. I don't need an invitation to see my grandbabies. That was her mantra. Every day, Patricia would barge in, critique my cooking, question my parenting, and rearrange my life while Michael buried himself in his investment banking work. The children need a more structured environment, she declared during dinner one night. Emma's hair wasn't even properly braided today. What will the other mothers think? Mom, I'm sure Mia's doing her best, Michael mumbled, his eyes glued to his phone. My best friend Jessica saw right through Patricia's facade. During one of our coffee meetups, she didn't hold back. That woman isn't being helpful. She's taking over your life. You're exaggerating, Jess. She's just involved. Involved? She rearranged your entire kitchen last week. At work, my colleague David noticed my stress. Everything okay, Mia? You seem distracted. Just mother-in-law drama. Yesterday, she told the neighbors she's teaching me how to be a proper mother. Have you talked to Michael about it? Michael? He thinks she's a saint. Watch this. I played a voicemail from earlier that day. Mia, darling, I've scheduled Emma's doctor's appointment. You're clearly too busy with your career to handle these things properly. That evening, I confronted Michael again. Your mother's behavior is out of control. You're being sensitive. Mom's just trying to help. She raised me, and I turned out fine. Really? Is that why you can't make a single decision without calling her first? Don't start, Mia. You know how much she does for us. The next morning, I caught Patricia sifting through my mail. I was just organizing things for you, dear. You've been so disorganized lately. Later that week, at Emma's school play, a parent approached me. Mrs. Thompson, your daughter is so talented. Your mother-in-law told us she's been teaching Emma piano. Excuse me? I'm the one, whoa. Oh, and she mentioned you're struggling with work-life balance. If you ever need help, we're here for you. That's when it hit me. Patricia wasn't just overstepping, she was systematically erasing me from my own family, but her boldest move was yet to come. One morning, as I pulled into Berkeley Elementary's parking lot, Emma's innocent question stopped me cold. Mommy, why aren't we going to school today? This is your school, sweetie. But Grandma Pat said we're going to Winchester Prep now. She took us there yesterday to see our new classrooms. My hands shook as I called the school. Mrs. Jackson Thompson, yes, we received the transfer papers last week. Your mother-in-law submitted all the documentation. I never authorized any transfer. I'm their mother. Well, according to our records, Patricia Thompson is listed as the mother and primary guardian. I nearly crashed my car racing to Winchester Prep. When I arrived, the secretary confirmed my worst fear. Yes, Mrs. Thompson enrolled them. She had all the proper documents, birth certificates, social security cards, everything. Those documents were forged. Furious, I confronted Patricia. Mia, dear, let's not make a scene. This is for the best. Berkeley's standards were lacking, just like your parenting. I called Michael, expecting support. Instead, his indifference stunned me. Mom said she talked to you about it. The tuition's already paid for the year. Talk to me? She forged documents, Michael. She listed herself as their mother. I'm sure it's just a misunderstanding. Mom knows what's best. That night, I found a stack of open letters in Patricia's purse. College fund statements, medical records, even my personal bank statements, each marked with her sticky notes. Those are family documents, she said when I confronted her. Someone needs to keep track since you're so busy with your career. Later that evening, Michael and I had the fight of our lives. Your mother forged legal documents, she's been opening my mail, and she's telling people she's their mother. She's just protective, Mia. Maybe if you were home more. Don't you dare. I work normal hours while you're never home before 9 p.m. Well, at least Mom makes sure the kids are taken care of. I stared at him, finally seeing the truth. You knew. You knew she was going to transfer them. His silence said it all. They could have waited another year, he mumbled. But Mom said Winchester's waiting list is getting longer. That was the moment I realized I wasn't just fighting a controlling mother-in-law. I was fighting an entire system she carefully constructed to push me out of my own family, but Patricia had no idea who she was messing with. The next morning, I called in sick and met with Karen Mitchell, a family lawyer Jessica had recommended. After hearing my story, Karen's eyes narrowed with fierce determination. This isn't just overstepping, it's identity theft and fraud. We need to document everything. I started a detailed log of every incident. My phone became my weapon, recording Patricia's surprise visits and snide comments. Really, Mia? Store-bought cookies for Lucas's class? In my day, mothers actually cared about nutrition. Click. Another recording added to my evidence file. David from work, a tech wizard, uncovered something alarming. Your mother-in-law's been trying to access your work email. Look at these IP addresses. Jessica, always digging deeper, brought another revelation during our weekly coffee meetup. Patricia tried this same thing with Michael's ex-girlfriend 6 years ago. I found her on Facebook. She's willing to testify. Dr. Reynolds, my therapist, helped me see the bigger picture. You're not crazy, Mia. This is systematic emotional abuse. One evening, my nanny Cam caught Patricia rifling through my bedroom drawers. These investment papers need to go to Michael's account. Mia's too irresponsible. I pretended nothing was wrong. But my evidence pile grew: forged school documents, opened mail, attempts to access my bank account, and recordings of her lies to neighbors. She even showed up at my kids' doctor appointments, claiming to be their mother. Then came the bombshell. Mia, your mother-in-law's been emailing Michael's board members, pretending to be him, David revealed. She's making investment decisions that could tank his whole division. Why didn't anyone verify these emails? Because they're coming from his personal account, the one she apparently has access to. I watched silently as Patricia dug her own grave. She started moving bigger pieces on her chessboard, unaware that I saw every move. The children should spend weekends at my house, she announced at dinner. After all, Mia's always working. Click. I've adjusted Michael's portfolio. He doesn't understand money like I do, she told her friend over my kitchen phone. Click. Karen's voice was steady as she reviewed the mountain of evidence. Mia, we've got enough to go after her for fraud, identity theft, and financial manipulation. But I wasn't done. I needed more. Mrs. Thompson's been day trading with company funds, David discovered. She's lost nearly $500,000 of Michael's clients' money. A private investigator uncovered Patricia's past. 3 fraud cases settled out of court and 2 restraining orders from previous daughters-in-law. The final blow came during Emma's parent-teacher conference. Patricia, smug as ever, slipped up. Oh, I'm their mother. Mia's just. Well, technically, she gave birth to them. But I'm raising them properly. The teacher, already briefed by me, recorded everything. That night, I stared at my wall of evidence. Recordings, documents, testimonies, financial records, 6 months of meticulous planning. Patricia thought she was destroying me, but instead, she handed me everything I needed to take her down. I hovered over Michael's contact on my phone. Tomorrow, everything would change, not just for Patricia, but for everyone who enabled her. Mommy. Emma stood in the doorway, her voice small. Are we going back to our old school soon? I pulled her into a tight hug. Yes, baby. Everything's going back to how it should be. Let Patricia play her games. I was done being the victim. Tomorrow, she'd learn exactly who she was dealing with. Without an appointment, I marched into Michael's office. His secretary barely blinked, waving me through. We need to talk. Now. I dropped a thick folder onto his desk. Mia, I'm in the middle of. Your mother lost $500,000 of your client's money. His face went pale as I laid out the evidence. Unauthorized trades, forged signatures, email impersonation. That's impossible. Mom would. Oh, there's more, much more. One by one, I played the recordings, her confessions to fraud, her manipulation of his accounts, her relentless campaign to erase me. The school transfer was just the tip of the iceberg, Michael. While you? He was defending her, while she was systematically destroying his career. As his phone started buzzing with frantic calls from board members demanding explanations and clients threatening lawsuits, Michael stammered, "I can fix this." "Fix it?" I repeated coldly. "Your mother's being investigated for fraud right now. Not just here. Her past cases are being reopened." That's when Patricia burst in, as poised as ever. "Michael, darling, don't listen to her lies." I pressed play on the latest recording, her voice cutting through the tension as she boasted about manipulating stocks under Michael's name. Patricia's perfectly crafted facade cracked. "I was protecting our family," she cried. "Mia's ruining everything." "By family, you mean the one you tried to steal from me?" I shot back. I turned to Michael, my voice steady, but my words hit hard. "Choose now, Michael. Your mother's crimes or your children's future." His eyes flickered with uncertainty. But in the end, he chose his career. Within hours, Patricia was banned from the building, and by evening, she was facing multiple fraud charges, not from me, but from Michael's own firm. "Mia, please," Michael begged. "Later, we can work this out. Like we worked out our children's school transfer or your mother stealing my identity." The aftermath was swift and brutal. Patricia's social circle disintegrated as victims from her past came forward. Her country club membership was revoked. Her reputation, carefully built over the years, was obliterated. Michael, on the other hand, lost everything: his job, his clients, his prestigious career. It all came crashing down. "The kids need their father," Michael said, trying one last time. "They need a father who protects them," I countered, "not one who helps abuse their mother." I got the kids back in their old school. The principal personally apologized. The mothers who had believed Patricia's lies, they got front row seats to her downfall on local news. Emma and Lucas flourished once Patricia's influence was gone. As for me, I was promoted to director of marketing. Turns out, when you're not constantly sabotaged, your career can really take off. Last I heard, Patricia was facing crippling fines and legal fees. Her fancy house was sold off, and Michael had relocated to another state, his reputation in tatters. "Mom?" Emma asked one morning over breakfast. "Are you happy now?" Looking at my children's peaceful faces, my thriving career, and our drama-free life, I smiled. "Happier than ever, baby." But then my phone buzzed. A text from Michael. "Can we try again, for the kids?" I didn't even hesitate. I blocked his number. Some might call me cruel for not forgiving him. I call it protecting my peace. Sometimes the only way to deal with toxic people is to let them face the consequences of their own actions. Let them cry, let them beg, let them feel sorry, but don't let them back in. So what would you have done? If you discovered your mother-in-law was gaslighting your entire social circle while systematically erasing you from your children's lives, would you have exposed her right away, or would you have gathered evidence like I did? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below.